Hello Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 6. They changed everything we thought we knew about life. These words, often spoken about James Watson and his groundbreaking discovery, ring louder today as the world reflects on his remarkable life. Watson, who passed away peacefully at the age of 96, leaves behind a scientific legacy that reshaped the foundation of modern biology. Driven by an intense curiosity and a deep love for discovery, Watson co-discovered the double helix structure of DNA alongside Francis Crick. This moment in the early 1950s forever altered the course of science. Their work revealed how genetic information is passed from one generation to the next, essentially unlocking the code of life. This breakthrough led to a Nobel Prize and ignited the fields of genetics, biotechnology, and genomics. It also made possible today's advances in medicine, from gene therapy to personalized treatments and beyond. Born in Chicago and educated at the University of Chicago and Indiana University, Watson's passion for biology guided his entire life. He worked at Cambridge, taught at Harvard, and later led Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, transforming it into a global center for genetics research. He was also a key figure in launching the Human Genome Project, helping map the entire human DNA sequence. As an author, Watson brought science into the public eye. His memoir, The Double Helix, remains one of the most widely read accounts of scientific discovery. His textbooks continue to teach students around the world. But beyond his achievements, James Watson will be remembered for his relentless drive, bold ideas, and dedication to mentoring the next generation of thinkers. Fellow scientists, Nobel laureates, and former students paid tribute, calling him a giant of biology. One noted, "He helped us understand who we are, at the most fundamental level." Watson died from natural causes, surrounded by close family. He is survived by his loved ones, and by a legacy that endures in every lab, textbook, and research project shaped by his discoveries. His contributions changed how we view life itself, and that impact will be felt for generations. Tributes to James Watson. Number 5. If one woman gets out of an abusive relationship because of this picture, I'll be a happy man. That's how Lee Tamahori described the impact he hoped for from his breakout film, Once Were Warriors. It was more than a movie. It became a mirror for a nation and a call for change. Lee Tamahori, who passed away at 75 after a private battle with Parkinson's disease, was one of New Zealand's true cinematic voices. With Maori and British heritage, he carried stories grounded in truth, struggle, and strength to screens around the world. His directorial debut, Once Were Warriors, exploded onto the scene. It became the most successful film in New Zealand at the time, and a defining moment in the portrayal of Indigenous life on screen. Raw, fearless, and deeply personal, the film earned him the country's Best Director award and global recognition. He didn't stop there. Lee's talent took him all the way to Hollywood. He directed thrillers like The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and the blockbuster James Bond film Die Another Day, then the highest-grossing entry in the series. Yet he never lost sight of where he came from. Later in his career, he returned to his roots with films like Mahana and The Convert. Those stories, driven by culture and character, showed his lifelong dedication to Maori narratives. Beyond the film sets and red carpets, Lee was known for his mentorship. Generous with his time, he helped lift new voices and support fresh talent from Aotearoa and beyond. His vision opened doors, shaped conversations, and inspired a generation of Maori and Pacific filmmakers. New Zealand's film community and global peers alike have paid tribute. One industry figure said, "Lee redefined what New Zealand film could be. His courage and clarity pushed us all forward." Lee is survived by 2 sons, each from different chapters of his life. To them, and to all his loved ones, he leaves a legacy not just captured in film reels, but in hearts moved and perspectives changed. A trailblazer, a storyteller, and a proud son of Aotearoa, Lee Tamahori's legacy will never fade. Tributes to Lee Tamahori. Number 4. Rick's calm under pressure and unwavering integrity set a standard for all of us who followed. That tribute from fellow astronaut John Fabian captures the quiet strength of Frederick Hawk, a man whose steady hands guided the space shuttle program through some of its most critical moments. Rick Hawk passed away at age 84 after a brief illness. His loss is felt deeply across the space community and far beyond. A naval aviator, decorated combat pilot, and later a NASA astronaut, Hawk's career reflected a rare blend of courage, brilliance, and humility. He flew 114 missions during the Vietnam War, tested advanced Navy aircraft, and later helped NASA reach new frontiers in spaceflight. As commander of the first shuttle mission after the Challenger tragedy, Rick brought not only skill but a deep sense of responsibility. That 1988 flight wasn't just a technical success. It was a moment of healing for a grieving nation. His calm leadership helped turn uncertainty into renewed hope. Across 3 shuttle missions, he logged hundreds of orbits and more than 400 hours in space. But Rick never sought the spotlight. He believed in teamwork, careful preparation, and inspiring future generations. After leaving NASA, he led AXA Space and never stopped promoting STEM education. Born in California with a natural curiosity for science and flight, Rick earned degrees in physics and nuclear engineering. He served with distinction in the Navy and left behind a life marked by achievement, service, and grace. Colleagues remember his quiet strength, his integrity, and the confidence he inspired in those around him. He mentored many, always ready to listen, advise, and uplift. He is survived by his loving wife, 5 children, and many grandchildren, the legacy he cherished most. Frederick Hawk's story is woven into the fabric of exploration. His leadership helped take us beyond Earth, and his example continues to guide those who follow. Tributes to Frederick Hawk. Number 3. She opened up to the English-speaking world then novel cuisines. These words from food scholar Paul Levy capture the enduring magic of Sri Owen, an author, teacher, and voice who transformed how generations understood Indonesian food. Her journey from the hills of West Sumatra to the kitchens and bookstores of London was one of passion and purpose. Sri didn't just share recipes, she shared stories, culture, and a deep respect for tradition. At a time when Indonesian cuisine was virtually unknown in much of the West, she broke barriers. With her groundbreaking book, The Home Book of Indonesian Cookery, she introduced bold, complex flavors to an eager audience. More than a dozen books followed, including The Rice Book, a now classic that won the Andre Simon Memorial Award. But her contribution went far beyond the page. For nearly 2 decades, she worked with the BBC Far Eastern Service, telling stories that connected food, culture, and identity. In kitchens across the world, she inspired confidence in cooking and curiosity about unfamiliar herbs and spices. Warm, generous, and endlessly curious, Sri mentored aspiring cooks and writers with patience and grace. She helped others find their voices just as she had found hers. She was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Guild of Food Writers and celebrated for her role in strengthening cultural ties between the UK and Indonesia. Her writing was scholarly but approachable. Her voice, both on the page and in person, was inviting. Sri Owen made you want to cook not just because it fed people, but because it connected them. She passed away peacefully at the age of 90. The culinary world lost a guiding light, and countless kitchens feel just a little quieter without her. She is survived by her loving husband Roger and their 2 sons, who carry forward her story. The San Francisco Chronicle called her an obvious authority on Indonesian cooking, but for many she was simply the woman who taught them to taste, to learn, and to love food in its full depth. Her legacy will continue in cookbooks well used and stained with sauce, in kitchens where turmeric and tamarind still simmer, and in every dish that dares to tell a deeper story. Tributes to Sri Owen. Number 2, one moment we were planning our forever, and now I'm here trying to understand how to live without you. These words from Shivani Parihar capture the heartbreak shared by many around the world after the sudden passing of Anunay Sood, a gifted travel creator and storyteller. At just 32 years old, Anunay left behind a world he helped make more beautiful, one image, one journey, and one story at a time. Over the past decade, Anunay reshaped how travel was seen and felt online. With over 1.4 million followers on Instagram and nearly 400,000 on YouTube, he turned curiosity into connection, adventure into inspiration. He visited 46 countries, sharing not just landscapes but the laughter, cultures, and lessons he found along the way. His photography wasn't just about views, it was about vision. He crafted messages that sparked discovery and encouraged millions to look at the world with more empathy and wonder. His sense of wonder earned him a place on Forbes India's top 100 digital stars for 3 consecutive years. But numbers were never his goal, connection was. And that's what drew people to him. His authenticity, his warmth, and his honest storytelling. Friends and fans remember Anunay not just for the places he visited, but for the light he carried wherever he went. He supported young creators, responded to countless messages, and built a community rooted in kindness and creativity. The news of his death, announced by his family through his official Instagram, shook the travel and digital content community. Though the cause has not been officially confirmed, reports suggest he passed away while in Las Vegas. A non-criminal report was filed, and early unverified details have pointed to a possible cardiac arrest. His family has asked for privacy as they grieve this unimaginable loss. He is survived by loved ones who supported him throughout his journey. Details of his memorial have not been made public. Anunay's work lives on, in every traveler he inspired and in every frame filled with life, sky, and spirit. The world feels heavier without him, but his legacy offers light to those still chasing dreams, passports in hand and hearts wide open. Tributes to Anunay Sood. What's trending on the internet? News 1. It's always moving to hear how stars open up about their past. And Christina Applegate recently did just that, sharing heartfelt memories of her late ex-boyfriend, Lee Grievous. Christina, now in her early 50s, reflected on Lee's life during a very personal conversation with friends, highlighting how he was both a talented photographer and a filmmaker, loved by many. Lee and Christina first met in 2006 while she was starring in Sweet Charity on Broadway. Though their relationship had its ups and downs, Christina remembers Lee as an incredible person who brought a special light to her life. After his passing in 2008, she spoke warmly of how much he meant to her, expressing deep sympathy for his family and friends. Even as she discussed the challenges of addiction, Christina's words were full of compassion and understanding. Today, as her story resonates online, it's a beautiful reminder. The impact of kindness and connection lingers long after we say goodbye, and every cherished memory helps keep a legacy alive. News 2. If you're a fan of uplifting Hollywood stories, you'll want to hear about British actress Amy Lou Wood, known for her powerful performances and her bright, candid spirit. During the filming of her role in The White Lotus, Amy, who is in her late 20s, bravely opened up about managing body dysmorphia, a condition that affects the way people perceive their own bodies. She shared that stepping into her character's shoes helped her find new strength and reminded her of her own resilience. Amy's honesty and courage not only inspire those watching her on screen, but also anyone facing similar battles off-screen. Her journey is a wonderful reminder that sometimes art helps us discover the best parts of ourselves, and we're grateful for stars like Amy Lou Wood, proving that kindness and openness can truly light the way. News 3. Country music legend Clay Walker, now 55, continues to inspire fans across America with his unwavering spirit and heartfelt performances, even as he faces the daily challenges of multiple sclerosis, a condition he's courageously battled since his diagnosis at just 26 years old. Recently, Clay had to cancel a planned show in Hot Springs, Arkansas, after a medical procedure intended to help his MS left him temporarily sidelined. But just 5 days later, he was back on stage at the Rock the South Festival in Alabama, giving a moving performance that went viral. Fans were touched to see his determination, applauding both his music and his resilience. With over 30 Billboard hits and a career spanning decades, Clay has long turned his health battle into a beacon of hope for others. Through the Clay Walker Foundation, he's helped raise more than $2.6 million for MS research, making a profound difference for families all across the country. No matter the setbacks, Clay's story is a powerful reminder of the strength found in community, country music, and never giving up. Fans are confident Clay will keep bringing his heartfelt songs and hopeful message to stages and hearts for years to come. News 4. Let's take a moment to remember Daniel Naroditsky, a much-loved chess grandmaster and digital pioneer whose story has touched people around the world. Daniel, who passed away at just 29 in Charlotte, North Carolina, was more than a chess prodigy. He inspired thousands across YouTube and Twitch, bringing the spirit and strategy of this classic game to new generations. Daniel became a grandmaster at only 18, winning championships and earning the respect of chess fans everywhere. He generously shared his expertise online, teaching countless players not just how to play, but how to appreciate the beauty of chess. In his final live stream, Daniel assured viewers, "I'm back and better than ever," a hopeful sign of his resilience and dedication. Though Daniel faced a difficult year, dealing with hurtful online accusations, his integrity never wavered, and his commitment to the game shone through. His family, friends, and the entire chess community remember him not just for his brilliant mind, but for his kindness, positivity, and heartfelt encouragement. Daniel's legacy lives on in every player inspired by his videos and every fan who found joy in his matches. May we forever honor his memory by supporting one another, cherishing our passions, and continuing to celebrate the creativity and connection that games like chess bring to our lives. News 5. Imagine leaving your house just 2 minutes before fate delivers a life-changing moment. That's precisely what happened to Kentucky resident Charles Kennedy, age 73, who stepped outside for a quick errand, right before a UPS cargo plane tragically crashed into his home near Louisville. The plane, loaded with hundreds of thousands of pounds of jet fuel, erupted into a massive fireball, shaking the community and leaving Kennedy's house decimated. Despite the shock and heartbreak, Charles is grateful to be safe and deeply thankful for the outpouring of support from neighbors and first responders. As Louisville pulls together, stories like Charles remind us how quickly life can change, and how acts of kindness and resilience help us heal. While the courageous crew lost their lives, the community's spirit shines brighter than ever. Charles Kennedy's remarkable survival and the unity that followed will be remembered as a testament to hope, even in the darkest times. News 6. Imagine being 13 years old and having the courage to speak out about something deeply personal. Grammy-winning singer Sam Smith has done just that. Sam recently opened up about undergoing chest liposuction at a young age, sharing that the experience was motivated by bullying and feeling different during their school years. Now at 33, Sam's honesty is inspiring fans around the world and sparking important conversations about body image and self-acceptance. By sharing their story, Sam hopes others will feel a little less alone and a lot more empowered to love themselves. Sam Smith is truly being celebrated not just for their incredible voice, but for their openness, and that's something worth remembering and honoring. News 7. Imagine lacing up your sneakers for a challenge most doctors said was impossible. Now meet Amy Cohen, a remarkable 29-year-old from Lynn, Massachusetts, who just became the very first person with sickle cell anemia to complete a marathon. That's right, Amy finished the legendary New York City Marathon, defying not only the odds but decades of medical advice that told people with sickle cell disease to avoid strenuous exercise. Growing up, Amy endured painful symptoms and was often told her condition meant she'd never do something like this. But she was determined to change that story, not just for herself, but for others living with sickle cell. Amy's journey became a beacon of hope for her community. Supported by her doctors and fellow runners, she crossed the finish line not just as an athlete, but as a trailblazer, inspiring other sickle cell warriors and anyone facing a tough diagnosis. Her courage proves that with guidance, support, and hard work, new goals can be reached, and new chapters can be written. Amy Cohen's legacy isn't just about running a marathon, it's about showing us all that barriers can be broken, and that her achievement will continue to encourage and empower so many more to chase their dreams. News 8. What an emotional week for the NFL community, especially in Dallas. Marshawn Kneeland, the talented defensive end for the Cowboys, has tragically passed away at the young age of 24. Marshawn was in just his second season with the Cowboys, and fans will remember him as a humble, determined young man who touched many lives on and off the field. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and living in Plano, Texas, Marshawn was not only a dedicated athlete, but also a devoted son, brother, and friend. The Cowboys, his family, and his teammates have described him as kind and full of love, a light who brightened every day. As we reflect on Marshawn's legacy, let's remember how he inspired so many through his hard work and his courage, even while navigating personal hardships. His story reminds us of the importance of supporting each other through life's difficult moments. The outpouring of love from fans, friends, and fellow players speaks volumes about the impact Marshawn had in his short, remarkable life. We honor his memory and send love to his family and to everyone who admired him. Marshawn Kneeland will always be remembered, not just as a football player, but as a shining example of heart and resilience. Number 1. She connected with the audience the way only Viola could, calm, clear, and truly present. A tribute once shared by a colleague now carries even more weight. Viola Holt, the warm and trusted voice in Dutch living rooms for decades, has passed away at the age of 76. She died peacefully in Muiderberg, leaving behind a legacy that shaped modern Dutch broadcasting. Her journey began early. At just 17, Viola became an announcer at Avro. Dutch viewers quickly grew to know and love her through shows like Nederland op de Jonge Tour and Dr. Ja, Dr. Nee. She wasn't just a presenter, she brought moments to life with clarity and heart, whether covering a joyful national event or the excitement of the National Song Festival. At Tros, she kept that momentum with programs like Actua and Maandagmiddag magazine, and later, in a behind-the-scenes role, helped introduce new formats and productions to Dutch audiences, including the groundbreaking De 11 Stedentocht. Her presence reached a new peak with the beloved 5-Uur show on RTL4. For nearly a decade, her voice and smile became part of people's daily routines. She brought world issues close and personal stories even closer with warmth and dignity. Later in life, Viola embraced adventure abroad, opening a restaurant in Mexico with her husband Peter and writing a weekly column for Dutch tourists. Despite stepping away from the camera, art and storytelling stayed close to her. Her paintings and printed works found audiences, reflecting the same spirit that once lit up the screen. She made a gentle return to television with appearances on shows like Bobo's in the Bush, and continued writing and reflecting until the end. Viola Holt's career wasn't just long, it mattered. She inspired generations, opened doors for women in media, and remained true to herself every step of the way. She is survived by her loving husband Peter, whom she married in 1990. While funeral details remain private, one thing is clear: Viola's legacy lives on, not just in television archives, but in the hearts of those who grew up with her calm and cheerful presence. Tributes to Viola Holt. She made movement possible for those who thought it was no longer within reach. With that powerful tribute, the team behind Sit and Be Fit captured the heart of Marianne Wilson's legacy.